Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of your favorite Ravens YouTube channel and podcast. Talk the Ravens all day, every day. It's your host, Justin P. Got my special guest on here today, Miss Shannon Fitz, back on here again. And the guy has been MIA for the last couple of weeks, but he's back. Bishop Stanton, the flock president. You know, he's at every game, home or away. You will always catch Bishop, in the stadium. So, they back on here with us today. This is episode 19 for the YouTube channel. For the audio version, season one, episode 22. You can listen to that, audio podcast, Google podcast, Spotify, Apple, all the links are in the description. So we're going to dive right into it. We're going to start with the coaching from Sunday. We're going to give our opinions and ratings on it. So I'll let Miss Shannon go first.
Coaching. I feel like it's like a broken record with us when we talk about this team because it's the same thing. And I think I'm finally ready to be like last week I was defending Harbaugh, and I everything I said I stand by it. But I feel like offensively with Lamar going down, you got to see really that offensively right now it's bad. The scheme is bad. The play calling is bad. It doesn't matter who the quarterback is. The play calling is just bad. And the fact that John Harbaugh is the coach, the head coach, at this point, it seems like you're allowing it. Like if everybody, like casual fans, can just watch the game on TV, go to the game, analysts on TV, on the radio, everybody can see the same thing. Why can't he, right? So he's going to fall in the same boat as Greg Roman to me. I don't appreciate that. Like, I'm tired of it offensively. Like, it's really, really sick at this point. And before Lamar went out, it was one and the same. It was looking like it had been looking for the past couple of weeks. Defensively, I don't really have any complaints only because we didn't allow them to score a touchdown. Even though they moved the ball and it looked bad at times, we did keep them out of the end zone, which led us to the point of being able to have the game-winning drive. So coaching, the bad part about it to me is it's the offensive side as usual. And John Harbaugh, because it's like I feel like he's not putting his foot down. He'll say certain things and get into arguments with players, but I want to see that energy with your coaches too. I haven't seen that from him since he fired Kam Cameron 10 years ago. I'm tired right at this point of even talking about the coaches.
Well said, Shannon. Go ahead, Bishop. The floor is yours.
All right, so I've gotten over the fact of learning this football team as a whole for this year. Let me just brace you guys just for 1 second. The position that we are in now has taken its toll from the start of the year all the way until this particular year. We've had some mishaps in a few games, dealing with our coaching, some questionable calls, and things that they could have done better to have more better outcomes. But at this very moment, that didn't happen. But I want you to brace yourself because at this point of the season, I'm not going to say it's not time to, but we absolutely can't do away. And I know Cameron was fired, but this is a different type of year. Only because you have to ride the wave with Coach Harbaugh, and he just got his extension, but you have to ride the wave whether Greg is going to leave to go to Stanford this year. But let me just throw this out here. Fired is not the option right now, and this is why. Greg Roman is one of the most, I feel, overrated offensive coordinators in football. But if you let the statistics tell it, and you've let what he's done on the field since he's been in Baltimore, we have to consider the fact that we will be firing a stupid but winning offensive coordinator. To bring somebody in, and we had all of this injuries coming back off injuries, running back in each and every week. Wide receivers in every week, O-line in each and every week. That has been different. The only one that knows his pieces week to week now, especially with Lamar being out, it will be so hard to fire him this year and bring a new offensive coordinator. Is even if it's T. Martin, even if it's if it they will be brand new to the panel of the offensive coordinator position. And because we are on a week to week basis with our quarterback, because we are on a week to week basis with our running back group, because we're on a week to week basis with our wide receiver as well as our offensive line group, no one knows them better right now to finish off the year with Greg Roman. And by all means, he's gone. Greg Roman is gone. And I'll talk about other things dealing with everything in the totality of the Baltimore Ravens. But Greg Roman is the best offensive coordinator moving forward for the rest of the year, only because he's getting pieces back. We are third in the AFC. We're 8-4, and we are in a backside game, win or lose, with the Cincinnati Bengals. And so I'm in fear actually now to get a new offensive coordinator, and whether the rest of his knowledge or whether he win or lose, I'm going to feel left out because we have rolled. Do we want Greg Roman gone? Hell yeah. Is Greg Roman leaving? Hell yeah. But consider the year at stake. Are you willing to risk a new offensive coordinator coming in, doing his own thing, doing his own theory, and lose a game, being that we have the easiest winning schedule going into the playoffs? Do we change right now and test ourselves happily being rusty and not knowing certain new things that they're giving and messing up? And just as well as Greg Roman's Lamar Jackson's offensive coordinator, he is Tyler Huntley's offensive coordinator. Now, some of the winning and losing that we have done has not always just been on the coaches. Neither has it always been on the players. We are facing a situation where it's either going to be on the coaches or it's going to be on the players. We haven't had a game where everybody did wonderful. Okay. Because the fact of the matter is, I'm looking at Greg Roman calling these bad play calls, but then I'm also seeing Greg Roman calling great calls and the players missing key plays. And so I have moved off the fire Greg Roman train, and I went on Twitter last night because people don't understand. Yes, we want Greg Roman gone. But I don't think that people understand the damage that will be done if Greg Roman leave right now, being that we only have 5 more games left. We're dealing with either a play or rest with Lamar because once we get, I won't say once we get, because I expect them, because of the small schedule, to come on the revenge tour on the backside of the season in our division. Are you with me, Miss Shannon?
Yeah.
Okay. Come off the backside of the season. This is why I'm here. Calm down. This is why I'm here. Come off the backside of the season with the easiest remaining record with horrible teams trying to fight. And either way, we're going to have to stick it out with Greg Roman for the rest of the year. Is he going after this year? Definitely. But what I'm saying, because of the situational status, Greg Roman is the best offensive coordinator right now moving forward. Also, this is my last thing, and I'll let Jay go. Also, do not forget the fact that Greg Roman is, in spite of the mishaps, in spite of the interception that James Proche seen, 4 people was back there, and he was just getting his time for shine. He was just getting his time to shine. So he was going to throw it anyway. He wasn't going to run it. 7 yards wouldn't have been enough. The girls wouldn't be hitting his phone after the game. It was behooved him to try to throw and get a touchdown and to bust that game open, but that did not happen. And so it was 2nd and 7. Was it a bonehead call? Of course it was. Should we checked it down and should we kept running? But sometimes you get bored in the game and saying, well, if I don't use this, this is my only shot to blow. and he did it, and it was a bad play call. We was driving down the field. God knows we were. The defense held after they missed that drive, and then they got the ball back, messed up again. The defense held again. They got the ball back, and Tyler Hunt did a 91-yard drive for the touchdown. And I'm glad that he's understanding the fact that if in doubt, use your legs. The coaching has been horrible in some instance, but I'm not gonna bash it as much as I'm gonna praise it, because statistically, as right singly right now, we're in good shape. And Miss Shannon and Jay, I'm closing off the first coaching topic with this. If the defense hold, Greg Roman is 12-0.
That's a very,
That's
very
fair.
intriguing statement. I
He
agree.
has blowed out every single game off the rip in the big games. And in the defense's hold, this offensive coordinator that you're ready to fire hasn't lost a game.
That's
That's
fair.
that's fair. That's fair. I'm not going to put it all on him because it does come to execution and all that. My thing with him is player personnel. Like stop with these 4 and 5 tight ends on the field. Not literally. I'm just hypothetically speaking. You know you can't have that many tight ends on the field. Spread it out, like spread the field out, like you know what I mean. Don't wait till you're back against the wall to want to come on a spread and want to do the stuff you supposed to been doing. Like, no, come out the gate with it. 3 receivers and all that. You can use Pat Ricard. Nobody saying you can't, but he should not be getting more targets than your wide receivers. That's the problem. No, you don't see no other team in the league when their fullback is getting more receptions than receivers. No, not even the bottom feeding teams like the Lions and all them. They don't even do it. So that's a problem. That's just my whole thing with him. He does call good stuff. He just goes too off script on me. Like if the run's working, why turn around and try to call a halfback pass or some crap like that? Like you just messing up the floor of the game. Keep going what's working. Like, like you said, our receivers aren't the best, but they're solid enough to Coach Shannon. But we never know if only one of them get on the field at a time. Like you're not doing them a disservice. That's why Hollywood wanted out. You know what I mean? Because he's like, I'm not going to being used as a crash dummy. You know what I mean? I'm only 5'9", 184 pounds, despite the drops or whatever. But he still produced it. And that's why he wanted out. And not having that speed is hurting us in certain situations. Can we all agree on that? Like
Yes.
Yeah.
that Lamar overthrow, whatever, Hollywood catches him because he has that speed to go run it down.
Mm.
I was always told it's always good to put a ball in front of a receiver than behind him. Because behind him, the defender has a chance to get it. If you put it in front of him, he has a chance to make a play. So Lamar is doing like they might putting the ball in front of him. They just don't have the speed to go get it. Far as John Harbaugh, like I said, he has to be more stern. He has to be more more hard on his coordinators. He got to go up to them. Hey man, if man coverage is working, keep playing man. Don't go drop into zone. Because against Jacksonville, we play zone the whole drive and got picked apart. It was like, what the hell, bro? Like, come on now, we can't do that. Like, he has to stay on top of those guys. He can't keep playing the nice principal. He got to be the principal that's going to call people in his office and hand on suspensions for a couple of days if you come to school without your uniform on. He got to be like that. And the same thing with Greg Roman, he got to let him know, like, look, man, you can't. This ain't Navy offense. You can't come out here running this full house formation with 3 and 4 fullbacks and only one receiver. No, today's NFL, you have to adapt, man. You got to put 3 or 4 receivers on the field. Like we got guys like James Prochet who showed up in training camp and preseason. Let him earn his stripes. Let him earn his jersey and show he's worth keeping on the team. Same with Tyler Wilder. Same with you. We give him 3 touches a game when he should be getting like 7 to 8. Like you gotta give more opportunities to your offensive skill players. Like Kenyon Drake, you don't give him enough guys. Like in the red zone, you don't want to run the ball with Gus no more. It's just situational play call that just blows me with him. That's the main reason I want him gone. But to your point, Bishop, it could be a situation we do get rid of him. The chemistry could be thrown all out of whack. That's a possibility. Because you're right. So me personally, if he finishes the year, I wouldn't have no huge issue with it. Because like you said, with on state, we trying to make the playoffs and want to run. But definitely after the season, soon as our season end, whether we playoffs, whether it's a championship game, whatever. I don't give a shit if we lose in the Super Bowl. I'm just hypothetically speaking. Harbaugh need to walk up to him, shake his hand, like, man, it's for real, man. Go ahead and take that Stanford job, whatever job we move for. But it's just time. Like I said,
So I want to just say this one last thing about Greg Roman, right? Because like you mentioned the stats, right? And that's one reason why I'm not big on stats, and I say that all the time, because I feel like stats tell half the tale. Granted, yes, the stats say he's a great offensive coordinator. Why would you want to get rid of him, right? And everything you said was a fair. That's fair. Like you're right. Everything you said could happen. But was that not the same type of thought process 10 years ago when we fired Cam Cameron? He had been here for 4.5 years. And even when we did that, we didn't immediately just change everything up. I mean, they still were doing some of the same things. Caldwell just opened things up more. And that's what, I mean, to me, that's what made our offense be better than it was under Cam Cameron, because he just opened things up more. So maybe if you do bring in a T Martin, it doesn't mean that you don't change the verbiage and things that you run per se, but he might be more creative. He might come up with different ways to get people the ball. And I just feel like I feel like a lot of Ravens fans are saying the same thing. This is not a playoff caliber team, right? I saw that all Sunday while that game was going on. I saw it said last week. So let's say we do win these games and we make it to the playoffs. 9 times out of 10, we're going to get embarrassed in the playoffs, and it's partly because our offense is so elementary school. And like I mentioned last week, I just feel like it's unfair to Lamar to not. I mean, he's injured now, but to not allow us to see him do something different, because everybody says he could do more than what we allow him to do. The only person that's in charge of the offense is Greg Roman. The Ravens have always been a running team, right? We've never really had wide receivers and things like that. We'll get a good old veteran. He'll come in and he'll do the thing. And we always say, right player, great price, low risk, that type of thing. We've never had guys come here and request to leave and then leave and complain the way we have offensive guys. And some of them like Willie Snead, like that's not somebody that you looking at like, woo. But he was even complaining. Hollywood wanted to get up out of here. We drafted him in the first round, and he was a thousand. He was a number one target. Like he didn't even want to be here. So at some point, like I was saying before, like earlier in the season, I was saying I'm not even going to get on the Greg Roman train because everybody is saying the same thing. We just finished week 13. At this point, that offense is stale. That's why I'm saying get rid of him, because I feel like it could give us a spark that we might need. Now Lamar's out, so that changes that whole concept, because we don't know if he's going to be out for 1, 2, 3 or the rest of the season. So that does change things. But that was my mindset of saying I want him to go, is because it's like doesn't mean everything has to change this year, but somebody else can have a more creative mind to get other guys involved. Like that offense is just too stale for me. Like I'm over it. And we've never had a lot of offense, but looking at like our offense should be more explosive than it is. And to me, it's about the players not being used correctly, poor play calling, and execution. I've said that a lot. I've said that probably more than anybody about execution with the players. I've always held them accountable in that regard. But you talk about a change, I think it's time for him to go. Like his message just, I don't, like I said, we seen it in the same frame. We saw it in Buffalo. Now we seeing it here. I don't need to see no more.
yeah, I'm gonna just end this topic with that. Like you're right, Shannon. It's definitely getting stale. It's definitely, and defensive coordinators have adapted. We have to adapt. That's the biggest thing. You have to adapt. Like when everybody, like when Dolphins stayed with the Wildcat, it was cool for 2 years, and after that, the third year, I put on
It
some
was
hat.
over with. Yeah.
Gotta adapt. You have to adapt. That's my main issue with him, because, like I said, you got guys wanting out. So who's to say Buvin and Bateman don't want to stay here because of that? Like you don't know.
You don't know.
So yeah, it's just even if it's after the season, if we ride it up with him this season, cool. I understand why, because you don't want to mess up the flow. But like I said,
Yeah.
soon as the season ends, whatever that may be, he needs to go with. We need to see that hairline raise and part ways. All right, that's it for that topic. All right, now quarterback play from both Lamar and Huntley. You can go first.
Well, I'll say I missed a lot of the first quarter because I was driving to my brother's house. So I saw the Broncos first drive, and I saw that. I didn't see Lamar play at all. So I won't even begin to say what I saw of him because I didn't see it. But I saw people comments, and nobody seemed to be impressed with him. So I feel bad that that's what it was before he got hurt. I really do feel bad that he got hurt because it just continues on with this narrative that he can't stay healthy. Like I hadn't even realized that. Somebody mentioned that on the season before the season started. I mean, I heard it on the radio before the season started. They said for the past 2 seasons, and they were talking about the Bills playoff game, And then the last year, the 5 or 6, whatever he missed last year, they were saying Lamar hasn't finished a season in 2 years. So now we come into this year and he's hurt again this year. So I just feel bad for him that narrative is not dead. But as far as Huntley is concerned, um, I know a lot of people felt like some people felt like the offense looked better with him and moved better with him. Um, to me, the difference I see between him and Lamar is that he just gets the ball out faster than Lamar does. Um, does that make him better suited for the offense and better suited for us to be our quarterback? No, I'm not on that train. I feel like Huntley is he's a great backup quarterback for what we have. Like Harbaugh said, you can bring him in and not have to change up a whole lot of different things. You can kind of still run the same things. Um, he does like Lamar has a better deep ball than Huntley does, so the field shortens when he's there. But he's more than capable of making those throws and using his legs. He's not as athletic or as fast as Lamar, but he can still go in the bag and do that. Um, I was really proud of him when that game went and drive down, like because that type of stuff, like I just love it. I love to see it. Like I love to see it. And when all the odds are against you, like nothing was going right that day, most people probably was watching that game like we gonna lose, like, and we didn't. And a lot of that was on Huntley. Like so, even though I don't think the offense looked drastically better with him, I think he did a great job coming in, on the fly, and keep. Even though he threw interceptions, he wasn't perfect, you know. Um, but he did what he was supposed to do as a backup, and ultimately he's the reason why we won the game. Like that was a well-deserved game ball that he got at the end of the game.
I'm saying, Shannon, go ahead, Bishop. The floor is yours.
This is a very okay. This is a very, 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 very baffling and nervous week for me because I believe that there's certain dynamic and areas to where Lamar Jackson is good for the Ravens. Also, there was times where I wish on certain series it would have been Tyler Huntley that would throw the ball because as far as scoring is concerned, I am on the Tyler Huntley train. I love Lamar Jackson. I think they should pay Lamar Jackson. But as long as Tyler Huntley can win before the playoffs, I'm willing to stick it out and let this PCL sprain, which I think the Ravens are completely lying about,
I do too.
um, really, really, really heals up. Tyler Huntley played that game, and I go to Russell because I'm just gonna make one statement about Russell. Matter of fact, I'll make it now, then I go back to Tyler because I have more majority of my mass talk about Tyler. Ever since, and I don't hate on anyone, and I don't want to mess up a relationship, but TMZ puts out a lot of more BS than what I'm getting ready to tell you right now. Um, Ever since Sierra walked in Russell Wilson's life, his football career has went downhill. You are a product of your environment, and you can tell that he is so into her that the focus of football is completely gone. He's so into his family, and that's not a bad thing. But just like the tale of the tape with Giselle and Tom Brady, and he's probably got the next hottest thing in the world. That's why he's smiling and doing good now. And whatever she put it on him, I don't know what it was. She put it on him because I see how he's looking. He's even trying to get Aaron Judge to play tight end now. He's smiling and he's winning and he's back. So let me just throw this in there for free. Money can't buy love, but it can buy you temporary happiness, and we can see that in Tom Brady. But on the other hand, Sierra's Sierra's money, Sierra's um, is so positive, and she does so good things, and she's such a mom, and she's such a woman, and she's such a wife, and she's such a giver, and she has so many scholarship foundations in that. Well, I believe that it's taking his time off of football and has split it 50-50. And that's why he can't get off. Because what I've seen so far, Denver has a great defense. He has a couple receivers. I mean, one or two of them got injured, but he has receivers. He's Wilson. This is a better team in Denver than what I think the Seattle Seahawks is right now. But it's just that his focus is off, and it starts in the head. It starts from the head down because I think his focus is off. It's showing really, 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 really because he tried to push a game yesterday, but he still did some things. He can't even get away from Calais Campbell anymore. That's bad. And so there's some other things, some issues just missing. And he's go Broncos country and stuff. And it's just, he's completely commercialized himself and he's not Russell Wilson anymore. Tyler Huntley, our spare tire. Tyler Huntley, our backup piece. Tyler Huntley, the guy that will be praised and the jerseys that will be bought if all else fails, Miss Shannon. Justin, the guy that could come in and go 5-0 right now, and it would be complete controversy in Baltimore going into the playoffs, which is not what I want to happen. But also, Miss Shannon, I want to win. I'm glad that it's just us three, but on the podcast right now because this is very, very scary. Because these next 5 games, and as Lamar rests, and he's our starting quarterback, once again, let me throw that out there, and I'm not writing them off. And yes, you deserve your money. But there's a slogan that has been used for years, and people not only use that slogan, but they go back, and that slogan is, if it's not broke,
Don't fix it. Yeah.
don't fix it. There is no way in the world Tyler Huntley goes in here and throws a game like I know he's going to throw, sling a game like I know he's going to sling, use his legs like he's going to use it, shake the rust off from that home game last year. And if anybody wants the Pittsburgh Steelers with a defense, it is Tyler Huntley that did not have that opportunity last year. And still threw a game at Shannon. And still almost beat them, Justin. But because the cornerbacks and because the pressure wasn't getting there and they could not stop a nosebleed, Pittsburgh beat us. Now, this is Tyler Huntley that has nothing to lose. This is Tyler Huntley that want to increase his stock and show the world, hey, I maybe can be a starting quarterback somewhere. This is Tyler Huntley that's not in fear of any team in the league and feel as though that he can win against any team in the league. And the defense is saying, coming off a game like that where he drove 91, we're willing to take our chances to beat Petersburg with Tyler Huntley. And that is exactly, I love to call things. I like to make predictions. I like to tell people beforehand so that they know that I know what I'm talking about. And that they should just listen just a little more often. Kenny Pickett is in trouble. Tyler Huntley is going to go into this game with his head held high, seeking revenge. And I think it is on and popping. And also, I think that being that Duvernay, Demarcus Robinson, Deshaun Jackson, and James Prochet are the only receivers that we have right now. We haven't signed Odell because he can't pass a physical. I know his leg is not ready, and I suggest him not to get on the field. But now that we have those only 4 receivers, Benjamin Victor was waived from the start lineup to the practice squad again. And we just signed Shamar Bridges, who had a week to revamp and a week of full practice. And Tyler Huntley's preseason target is back in the building for this game Sunday. And I want to let y'all know, starting this conversation, that Pittsburgh is in trouble.
I hope so.
Now, last but not least, if Tyler Huntley beats our rivalry, which I know he's going to do, because Pickett has never seen this defense before, he has never played in this Baltimore rivalry. And I'm sure that I can't get fired from my second best friend podcast, but he is not our skin color and he can ball. But this is a very fragile time in Baltimore to be playing against them. And especially it is that we are one game behind the Bengals with knowing that we control our own destiny and knowing what's at stake. Pittsburgh is in trouble and Huntley will prevail.
Yeah, that is well said. Me personally, I think Tyler's going to play well. Like I said, he's shown flashes. Even last year on a losing streak, he had some pretty good games. So he's definitely capable of it. It's just like you said, Shannon, this field shrinks a little bit with him. So hopefully, if we could just minimize his strength and limit his weaknesses, we could be okay. But I think, like you said, if he was to go 5-0, it would spark up a little, just a little media talk amongst people. Just because I'm not ready to deal with that. I know Shannon not, but the casual fans definitely
That
say,
would be
"Hey,
a
why
mess.
give a
That would be crazy.
quarterback 250 million when you could pay a guy that just won five in a row?" Like, really, what? But
Because guess what? Because last year that was a talk that we couldn't win without Lamar, right? So if he wins these 5 games or even majority of the games without Lamar, it's like it's a bad situation for Lamar, in my opinion, because now the Ravens can really come up to sit at the table and say, "Do we really gotta pay you? Can we be a franchise? Do we really, So it's just, as a Ravens fan, I want us to win. Like you deal with the other stuff later. As a Ravens fan, that's what I want. But as far as Lamar, I feel bad for him because I don't know. I mean, if we win it, it's not a good look for him.
And it's not because Lamar doesn't deserve it. And it's not because, let me go ahead and throw this. It's not because he's not the better quarterback, which he is. He's the more athletic. He's the faster quarterback. He throws the deeper ball. Um, but decision making, as far as the IQ for the game and the situational status, Tyler Huntley, I entrust him to make the more dominant decisions. And sometimes mixing the game up does cause for a turnover here and there because like a lot of when he rolled out and threw that to the sideline on the sideline, you never really see that from Lamar. It's either one dimensional. It's either one way going deep or it's just going off a route to Mark Andrews. There's a lot of passes. There's a lot of tight windows that Tyler Huntley places the ball through. He's more comfortable with those throws. That's the strength of our receiver core right now. And so I'm afraid to tell you on this podcast that Tyler Huntley right now in this next game with Lamar resting is the best thing for Baltimore. But what I am going to tell you, if he has success in this game, he automatically plays a home game because it takes 1 to 3 weeks for that thing totally to heal. We will give Lamar 3 weeks if we're winning. If it's one thing that Tyler can't hold up and we fall into a place where we're losing ground in the playoff race, hey, Lamar, bet on yourself, man. Here we go. Is a PCL sprain, we'll shoot you up and we'll let you go out there and play. Right now, they don't want to do any of that because we trust Tyler Huntley so much and he's had so much experience with us. Well, we felt as though, well, damn, if the defense would have stopped anything last year, Tyler Huntley win those games and we go to the playoffs. Just anything. Now we come in with the top 10 defense, they're going to see it. They're going to see it. And it's going to be bad for Lamar. And I hope that our general manager, who I'm so close to, Eric DeCosta, gives Lamar his fair chance beyond injury, that when he comes back into the playoffs, how he does. And now we won't have to talk about none of this. If Tyler throws this year, Lamar comes back, gets into the playoffs, and goes to the AFC Championship or goes to a Super Bowl and loses or wins out, he'll get his money and he'll be on the safe side. What I'm in fear of is that Tyler completely pours it on with this offense and this defense connection. I'm telling you now, I'm calling it because the schedule is so weak and because this defense is so good and we're getting healthy and we're getting more dangerous. I don't think it will be about, and I know somebody just came on, let me close it. I don't think it will be about Lamar's health and him playing further. We don't want anything to happen to Lamar. And this 1 year, 895,000 ticket that Huntley is on. And it's so hard to go elsewhere in the league because either we're going to trade you and teams don't want to give away picks, or teams can just go and get the more highly touted guy that they think could be better for the program. Because with quarterbacks is a lot of way more politics involved. You have to understand not only just the playing side of football, but the business side as well. But I'm getting ready to tell you what's going to happen, and the NFL and Baltimore Ravens want exactly what's getting ready to happen. Eric DeCosta is banking on the success of Tyler Hunt moving forward.
Yeah, that's
Hold on. Let me give this to you. Let me just give this to you real quick. This is the reason why I say this. He's banking on the success of Tyler Huntley because the better success Tyler Huntley has, the more cheaper contract
yeah.
you can give to Lamar Jackson. The glass is full on Lamar's time because Tyler Huntley is only our backup quarterback. But if he plays these next 5 games with starting potential, we're talking about a different conversation. Okay, see, welcome, baby.
What's
that?
to piggyback off that, like you just said, it does in a way hurt his negotiations and all that stuff like that, possibly. But in the same token, I'm gonna use an example, different team, but same similar situation. Just let me get my point out, then y'all can say whatever you want. Remember, Cooper Rush came in there, played pretty good ball. Cowboys won 4 or 5 in a row. Defense playing lights out. Philly smacks him. What happened? Go right back to Dak. Dak ready now. That'll be the. It's like your backup is supposed to do one thing: keep the ship rolling. Keep the ship rolling. They're not going to supersede your starter, or because that was the case, he would be the starter. So even Huntley plays fairly well. When it's time for Lamar to come back, he's going to get inserted back into the lineup, despite what anybody feel and all that. Because like I said, we just seen the Cowboys went with it, and what media and what market is bigger than the Cowboys? Nobody. So you had that fan saying the same thing to you, start Rush, Dak making all this money, but at the same time, it's going to come a point in time it's going to show you why he's the backup and not the starter. And it'd be like that. And I think Huntley's going to do pretty well on, and keep us in games. But like Raven C just said, he's not 8. He's not 8. It's a reason why he's his backup. But I think he'll hold it together till we get along. But I think Lamar get paid either way, regardless if Huntley go out there light up or not, because the body of work favors your guy you trying to pay. Your backup quarterback only has 5 or 10 games. Like, you're not going to sit there and risk your job on that. Because the Costa was to say that, okay, Cam, I ain't lying, Shannon too, and you too, Bishop. If the Costa was to want to be that cheap route, all right, nah, man, Lamar, we're going to franchise tag you because Huntley played good up. Lamar said, cool, okay, all right. I'll play on the franchise that he had this year. I'm gone. He goes wherever else. So Huntley gets, a nice little deal, and he doesn't light it up or doesn't even come close to an MVP quarterback. The Costa is gonna get called into the office. Like, remember last year when you decided not to give him that guaranteed contract, you wanted to go with Huntley to save some money. Yeah, now we're 5 and 12. You can go ahead and look for another job. The Costa not gonna do that to himself. He's not gonna do that to himself. He's been around too long. He's not gonna do that to himself. Because we've seen it with Kevin Carr, we've seen it with Cooper. We've seen every time the backup quarterback play good for a spurt and get the hype, but then long term, no, it just doesn't pan out. Like, so, yeah, the Costa's not going to risk his future on just a 5-game little flank. So yeah, 8 is going to be good regardless. But I think Huntley can finish. I think if Lamar misses the rest of the season, just to be fair, I think Huntley can get us to 3-2. We finish 11-6. That should be enough to win the North. That's just figuratively speaking. But I don't think we should lose. But you never know. But yeah, I think he can keep us in the playoff race. All right, Cam, you can go ahead. We talking quarterback play from Sunday. Can you give me your thoughts on how the quarterbacks played?
Well, can't give really nothing about L because the line wasn't doing a damn thing. They got him killed.
Right.
Hey man, Josh Olive. Hold on 1 second. I'm studying my job. Hold on. Give me 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
All right. He's gonna be back up. So let me just throw this in for free. Just while he's waiting. Just to piggyback on what Justin was saying. To the fact that yeah, DeCosta is not gonna do that. That's a real good point that you made. DeCosta is not gonna do that. There's a lot of things to risk. And you have to weather the risk. But I'm just excited to see Tyler Huntley finally with a defense, and I just hope it just doesn't turn the tide. You know, our fan base is one of the most bipolar fan bases, man, in the history of football. And so I don't want to, and I'm not telling Huntley to lose on purpose, but man, if we get to the Bengals game and it's neck and neck, and we're looking around, and what we're gonna do is we're just keeping for the playoffs. So yeah.
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm still at work. I apologize. I'm at to lock the doors because they get ready to leave.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got it. Oh, you over here? What's up, Doc? Okay. This is my whole. I'm gonna give a grade. My grade is a C plus because Tyler had to just come in and do what he had to do. That's number one. Number two, they went to the quick game, which they've always done. They did it last year with Tyler. The only reason we started the quick game because cover zero, we couldn't beat it. Right? What you gonna do? Like he did what he had to do. He's running for his life, but he didn't. The offense didn't look any better. It ain't gonna look any better. Ain't gonna look any better till Greg is going. To be quite honest with you, let's just be 100% with it. Just to give an example, if you look at San Francisco, they lost Jimmy Garoppolo. Mr. Irrelevant come in there and pretty much gives it to Miami. That's all scheme, bro. That has nothing to do with, and it's no knock. I'm not knocking Tyler. I think he's a good player. He's not L. He's never going to be asked to do what Lamar has to do, just simply because that's what it is. I don't know. I'm not saying he can't do it, but just from the outside looking in, I'm glad a couple of the coaches said it because I saw it too. It's like it's always first read. First read, you don't see the first and second read, he going. And I don't blame him. I don't blame him. Last year, he had to do it because we had no line. This year, this game, it looked like we had no line again. So it was one read and go. You know what I mean? The longest he didn't throw anything over 10 yards. So I nothing against you, Bishop. I don't I don't think EDC is banking on anything. I think EDC is worried that if he don't pay Lamar, he gonna be out of a job. Because that's the dead on truth. This man, let's just forget about this year. Dollar back to 19. He's just on merchandise alone.
Did I say that, Shannon?
It's just on merchandise alone. He should have. This is why I agree with Michael Vick. Vick said this. He said he should have went and got the bag soon as he won the MVP. He shouldn't even have waited. But I mean, Cleveland just put in this. They put us in the bond because Deshaun Watson shouldn't have got that money. That's period. You know. Yeah, I'm doing my show, sir. So he, but at the end of the day, people, it always looks good when the backup come in and does well because he's not asked to really do nothing. You playing with house money when you the backup because I ain't got nothing to lose. Especially right now, I ain't got nothing to lose. So balls to the wall, balls to the wall. Excuse my language, but that's what I got to do. I got to make sure number one, I do what I can do and show my talent because I know this ain't gonna be my home forever. So I gotta do what I gotta do to try to get a job someplace else. He don't want to. He's too young to want to be a backup. He want to be a starter, and he deserves. They're just not here. But it ain't gonna matter. It's not like once he got in there, we had a spark, and then the offense was doing something. No, we weren't. We did the same thing every game. There's one last drive with L, and guess what happened? This game, now it was with Tyler. Every game. So, nothing's changed on that end. Offensive line's playing like straight shit. Pure shit. And only one man is out. I know we were giving praise to Ben Powers in the beginning of the season. Get his ass off the field, please, and put Ben Cleveland in there because he ain't getting no pushback. You got somebody else got to go. You're not going to take Ozala. You're not going to take Kevin Zala out. You're not going to take Tyler Linderbaum out. You're not going to take out Moses. And we waiting for Stanley. We got to get some push on that line. We can't run the ball, period. Line is just straight boo-boo. I'm not even, I mean, I think I heard this, I think Jose said this yesterday on Coach Talley's show. He said Josh Oliver, the reason why Lamar got hurt, but the rest of the line was getting them tenderized because he did get hit like 5 times in the first 2 series. Like, it was ridiculous. Like, this is sad. You know what I mean? So what we gonna do? Go ahead, Jess. I'm sorry. I don't know how much I missed a lot of the show, but go ahead.
I just want let me say this real quick because I disagree with the fact that if Lamar's not paid, that Eric DeCosta will lose his job. Yeah. And I say that because Steve Bisciotti was the main one complaining about having to pay Lamar a particular amount. Eric DeCosta didn't say nothing about no money. John Harbaugh said, we're going to pay him. So to be honest with you, I don't think Steve Bisciotti, if Steve Bisciotti said, pay Lamar whatever he wants, do you think Eric DeCosta wouldn't? Ain't his money. It ain't John Harbaugh money. It's the owner he's the only owner who actually came out and said, I wish Cleveland wouldn't have did that. The Browns are being thirsty. Like we were talking about that earlier today. The Browns are being thirsty. Deshaun Watson did not want to go there. He had already told them, y'all off the table. What's between, what did he say, the Panthers and the Falcons, I believe, right? Then here come the Browns doing what they did. Even after he got what he got, Russell Wilson didn't get nowhere near that. Neither did Kyler Murray, right? So my point in saying that is, I don't think that Lamar not getting paid, that's not going to make them lose their job. Steve Bisciotti, he don't want to pay that amount. If they can pay him $200 million, I don't even know if he want to pay him $200 million. I just know that
I think he'll settle. If it cut in that, I think he'll kick
$200 million. To me, that's fair. But when you start talking about Deshaun Watson or more, Steve Bisciotti, like, whatever. You better franchise tag him. I don't think that they will lose it. I don't think Steve Bisciotti wants to pay that. I don't think it's on the cost. They going by what the owner said.
You saying you don't think he wants?
Like Steve told Joe Flacco, you want a Super Bowl, you can come in and stand on the table and ask whatever you want, and that's what he did. So I think he's the reason why Lamar hasn't gotten paid yet, not necessarily the cost or Harbaugh really ain't got nothing to do with it.
I'm sorry, because you're saying that you don't think that he wants to pay him the fully guaranteed or just pay him, period.
The fully guaranteed is I would assume the fully guaranteed is the issue, but I don't pay the fully guaranteed amount.
Right, but see, I think that you answered your own question because nobody else, I don't think any other owner was asked because nobody else was really actually up but Lamar as far as to get paid. But on top of that,
I said all the other young quarterbacks paid or not or great.
Yeah, I don't think anybody was up. Kyler wasn't really up.
At the time that he said that, I think it was like the owners meeting. I don't know if Kyler got paid yet.
I'm saying it was the owners meeting. I agree with that. I'm just saying there's nobody else was up to get their contract.
Well, Kyler, he started talking about holding out in the offseason, like before he got paid. He was at Kyler Murray.
But Kyler wasn't up though. He wasn't up. Kyler's a year behind Lamar.
But he got paid. But what I'm saying is Kyler Murray was complaining. He wanted to get paid, right? Kyler Murray started deleting the card and he was doing all that other extra stuff, right? And then he did get paid this offseason. But I'm saying I think Bisciotti made his comments before Kyler Murray got paid. So the Cardinals could have been asked about that if a reporter wanted to ask him. Lamar, maybe, of course, Bisciotti's going to be asked because we got Lamar his last year. But I'm just saying, I don't think that the Costa will lose his job if Lamar decides to walk. I don't think that. I think that it's based on what Bisciotti is willing to pay, and if Lamar is going to agree to it or not. If Lamar says no, Bisciotti probably going to be like, okay then. I don't think he would fire Eric DeCosta for that.
I kind of agree. I don't think he's going to get fired, but I think that it's going to be a lot of pushback from a lot of people
The fans, of
because
course, fans are
because
definitely gonna be upset.
because he should have got paid by now. Like all right, I don't know if you saw him on the Rich Eisen. I mean, if you listen to him on the Rich Eisen show, Rich brought up the 250, right? Him asking about, and he asked, did Steve Bisciotti come to you like he came to Joe Flacco? And he said he didn't. He said,
what do you mean come to him like Joe Flacco? How he come
just
to
like you just
about
spoke
on the table.
about you winning the Super Bowl. And he said, honestly, he said, I don't think I need to. I think I proved myself already. And he said it calmly. And to be honest with you, he has though. He's by far he's the best quarterback we ever had. He's great off the field. He's all pro. He's been a Pro Bowler for what, 3 years. He's been selected to the Pro Bowl. He's all pro one year, won the MVP. He's the best quarterback by far we ever had. We're not even talking about the merchandise and all that, right? So what he was saying is like, I don't know if it's fully guaranteed that he asked for. Everything is hearsay. He's just saying that it was something about 250. Rich Eisen didn't say it was guaranteed, but he said that did Steve Bisciotti come to you the same way? He said no, he didn't. He said, but and then he kind of like asked him, did he? Just you listened to it, right?
Yeah, I listened to the majority.
Did he? He didn't say nothing like Rich didn't say that. I don't think Rich said this.
He just didn't say no dollar amount or nothing. He just asked him about the contract.
He just asked him, and Lamar was like, no, he didn't ask me. He said, but honestly, I think I proved myself already, which he did. Like without Lamar, there's no Baltimore Ravens. We ain't in none of these games. Like let's be honest. Like everybody want to talk about, okay, he can't throw the ball, he can't do this, he can't do that. If you can name all 4 receivers on everybody's team, and you can name all 4 of our receivers, just 4, not even the whole squad, and you tell me our receivers are better, then I'll back down. And there's no knock on our receivers because we don't know what type of real talent they have because of the system. But number 2, like even when people say like Mark Andrews is the number 1 target, well, Travis Kelce is the number 1 target at that's the comparison. Travis Kelce is the number 1 target at KC. But how many receivers did they pay to come there? Even Juju didn't want to come in. And he's not he may not be a number 1 receiver, but he's definitely he's a Pro Bowl receiver. He's damn near he's a strong number 2. You got then you went and drafted a receiver, right? Then you still got Hardman. You still got they got what's the name from Green Bay. So you got number 2 receivers all across the board that are legit good receivers. Of course, you got a good system. My whole point is this: like when the guys were saying to like the last time we was all on together. Remember the guy said something about why Lamar don't hit people in stride. Da 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 da. Sometimes that's why I said you got to look at some of the angles that he throws the ball. It's not that he's not trying to hit him in stride. I mean, everybody misses, but Lamar, a lot of times, Lamar trying to make sure you're not in harm's way. What game was the Carolina? When he if you get a chance, listen to The Wire when he's at when they play at Carolina, and Prochet dropped the ball. He was supposed to sit down, but he took off, and then the ball was behind him, right? Lamar came over to him. He told him, he said, just trust me. I don't want you to get your head blown off. That's why I threw it in that angle because nobody was there. And Prochet should have caught it. I mean, he should have caught the ball because if he had sat down and caught the ball, he could have took off. But if he had threw it in front of him, he would have got rung. He does that a lot, but nobody's going to appreciate that. Why? Because he's so dynamic. When you're so special in something that you do, ain't nobody gonna look at anything else. Let's use Steve Kerr for a second, right? Stephen Curry, right? Curry's so good of a 3-point shooter, bro. Everybody forget he played good defense. That's the reason he won the finals last year. His defense is phenomenal. He wasn't a good defensive player before, but I'm just using him as an example. But like, I don't know, bro. It's just I don't want anybody to think that If our defense don't show up, we ain't doing nothing. We ain't gonna win no games. It don't matter what Tyler, because our offensive scheme is trash. Like it, I don't know what he done ran out of maybe he ran out of stuff in the vault because there ain't nothing left. We can't move the ball at all. Not on Carolina. We couldn't move the ball in Jacksonville the way we needed to. The vault is done. I don't know, bro.
I think the Ravens are so highly anticipated, and they are so good when it comes to the player personnel and the big names. Well, I don't think the Ravens flock understand and allows us to have games where we do lose or points in the season where we are doing bad. And let's say that to say this. Greg Roman and Lamar Jackson and those guys, they have times in the year where they have to be doing something because you don't get 8-4 by absolutely being horrible. And the defense hasn't scored nothing but one touchdown this year, and that was Justin Houston when he tipped the ball up and ran it into New Orleans. And they've been horrible. And they've cost us our 4 losses. So I'm in defense mode with people, and Greg Roman is leaving. But the plays that he's calling, and of course it's Lamar and his talent and whatever have you, and Mark Andrews, but they've been there. They've been there now. He's calling, he's doing enough to stay afloat. Also, I'm gonna do this because I have nothing to lose. And I'm gonna tell y'all what's going on with Lamar. At the beginning of the year when he wanted his contract, Steve Bisciotti does run Baltimore Ravens. And guess who Steve Bisciotti pays? He pays the quarterback that wins the Super Bowl. The only reason why Trent Dilfer didn't get his money is because Tampa Bay gave him a shitload of money when he went over there that second year. Flacco won the championship. Dilfer won the championship. Let me ask y'all a question. The reason why Roquan came was to kind of give Eric DeCosta an idea what's going to happen moving forward if we stay with Lamar or not. Lamar decided once Bisciotti told him, we do not play highlight and accolade-bound quarterbacks. We pay champions. Trent Dilfer left because he thought he can get more. He did get more in Baltimore, and that's why he left. And guess what? He won a Super Bowl with Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We don't pay, I'm sorry, with your 4-3 running self, with your overthrow balls, with your dick-eating comments, with your cornrows in your hair out with yourself. Have had in my life a lot of great athletes. I was primetime Deion Sanders on the Pop Warner field myself. I am not impressed. Because Trent Dilfer's offense is nowhere near with Lamar Jackson on the helm better than this. Joe Flacco offense is nowhere near with Lamar Jackson at the helm better than this offense. And you have the gall and audacity to ask for $250. You have the gall and audacity to ask for $180 million guaranteed after you've been hurt for both of you. Has sold me last year and is pending selling me this year, and you want money from me? Let me tell you something, Cameron. If you think Lamar Jackson is going to get paid with his jersey sales and his marketing, tell him goodbye.
Time to go to the next topic. We'll be on this all night.
Last thing I'm gonna close out and say.
This can go all night. I know
If
Cameron.
you're not
I
gonna
want to
get
see
me a
something.
Super
Not
Bowl,
take of the show. I want to keep it going because we'll just turn into a 3-hour stream, and I gotta work tonight.
okay.
Go ahead, man.
Running backs. Let's start with running backs. How do running backs perform? Go ahead, Sharon.
I mean, they were okay. Like I told you when we first started, the offense is stale. Like I can't even look at one point of it and say they played good. They played this one didn't play. They all just it's a collective for me. I wish that we would run. I was wondering. I said that on Sunday. I said, well, dang, where Drake been at? Like I haven't heard his name. Haven't said. Like I don't even. It just seems like we don't know who to use, when to use them, and to stick to something consistent that's working. So I mean, I guess they did good enough, but I mean, like I said, the offense was still stale. So it's hard for me to say somebody stood out because they was all about the same. The best thing was the game-winning drive.
The best running back on the field is Gus Edwards. Everybody knows that. The more talented running back is J.K. Dobbins. But Tyler Batty, who has not had his opportunity, is still on the practice squad. So is Josh Ross. So is Shamar Bridges.
Running back, Bishop, running backs. I don't mean to do this to you, but we got
okay, yeah, because I get off course. Bring
it back to the
Kenny Drake right now is the more explosive running back. But yet the most inconsistent running back. He had a good play, a good throw from Huntley. He had a couple good runs where he almost snuck through and went for the touchdown. And we don't deal with fumbles too good because what Gus Edwards did in Jacksonville last year. So we kind of timid when it comes to that. Once you fumble in Baltimore, you're almost done. You already know. We hate fumbling. I think that Tyshawn Williams was one of the best running backs that could have ever been in Baltimore. But because he fumbled so much, he was out of there. And so they're going with a little more. They say, why are we not pounding Gus in the red zone? Why are we not pounding Gus in the red zone? Is because we are traumatized when we hand him the ball, while he's fighting back off this injury. And I think it's because when people tackle him by his legs, he's always trying to protect himself, and with using his hand, with trying to brace his fall and everything. And that has fragments of what he's been in. But when JK come back, we'll be definitely a more dominant and better team because you have to plan and try to strategize for both of those guys by way of combination of speed and power. You haven't heard from Mike Davis, and you won't hear from Mike Davis anymore. The only reason I believe he's still on the team is because he just had the baby girl, and DeCosta's a family man, and is only probably $1.5 million, and so we don't mind him having that. We leave nobody. We take care of injured players for years and years and years, and you can keep getting injured, and we still take care of you. So that's one of the reasons why Mike Davis is in the position that he's in. But you never will hear from him again. Kenny Drake, Gus Edwards, and right now Justice Hill is the lineup. Justin Hill gives us a speed.
What's the grade, man? What's the grade, Bishop? What's the grade? You broke down the whole.
Yeah,
give me the grade, man.
All right. Here your grade. I'm going with you, Cam. C+.
You don't call me Cameron. I don't know who the hell Cameron is. You don't call me Cameron.
All right, go ahead.
Great. They get a D. They get a D, Justin. From me, I can't. I know they're not getting a lot of opportunities right now. I don't know. I mean, I don't know why. Probably because we went to that spread, but you still could have ran the ball. But other than the offensive line, they get a D, bro. It just didn't look good. It didn't look good. I know it's a good defense. We should have been able to run the ball against Denver though, because they're, if I'm not mistaken, they're third overall, but they're like ranked 15 or 17, something like that. I don't know. They, as far as run defense, so we should have been able to run the ball on them. We couldn't do nothing. Go ahead.
I agree, indeed, because like I said, they wasn't hitting the holes. They wasn't pressing, setting up blocks. Like they just was just running into the piles. So definitely a D. I ain't gonna spend too much time on it was a bad performance. All right, offensive line play. Go ahead, Shannon. You start first.
E.
B.
E. E. E.
E.
E.
Yeah,
E.
I agree with that. Yeah.
It's like it's not much to say about the offense. They stink. They poop.
You said the big fellas get an E. Okay. Anything else you want to add?
No, that's it. Like, there's nothing to say about them. Like, it's
All right,
nothing to talk
Bishop.
about.
Trying to keep this brief, Shannon. We trying to get Bishop. We trying to get about here by 7:30. Give me your old line grade.
O-line right now, I keep them at C plus. A lot of good high grades for Tyler Linderbaum and Zittler and Morgan Moses. You know, the addition of the decline of Ron Stanley seems to cost the whole offensive line. So I do D plus, C plus, C plus.
All right, Cam. Go ahead. Old line play.
For this game, no bueno. No bueno. I'm with the D's. D's all day. That's all I'm giving.
Same here, man. D. Because like I said, Lamar got hurt because he got sacked by Browning. Like I said, if he gets protected on that play, we're not even having this conversation. They couldn't run the ball. Tyler Huntley, the reason why he had to throw short passes because he didn't have no time to do nothing else. So definitely a D. They gotta do better. All right. Receivers and tight ends. Then we go into the defense. Go ahead,
I'll give them a C. I mean, they caught some balls, but I'll give them a C.
Okay. Go ahead, Bishop.
Oh my God, man! It's just Isaiah Likely, man. It was our macho man down the stretch. I'm gonna give him a D, man. To the addition of Shamar Bridges come back, man. They doing bad right now.
Okay, go ahead, Cam.
Yeah, I'm gonna give him about a C because Likely showed up. Robinson was alive today. That Sunday. Hopefully we can get a little bit more consistency come this Pittsburgh game, but that's about it. I'm gonna give him a C.
I'm gonna give him a B, despite the circumstances. Guys did get open and catch the ball.
Yeah.
Going from one quarterback to another, the line playing bad. They got the ball in their hands and did what they could. So, I mean, you only a receiver, you got to get the ball thrown to you. Can't throw and catch it yourself. I give him a B. They got circumstances. They played. All right, defense. Let's go with the D line. Shannon, kick it off.
I'll give them a C.
Mm.
Like I said, the defense is the reason why we was able to win the game. So I'll give them a C.
D-line. Okay, Bishop, what you get the big fellas on the D-line?
Big fellas holding the run down, man. Keeping it short field, man. Giving it back to our offense. Giving them plenty of chances. I'm giving them B plus. Can't wait till Jabo get back.
I like that. Go ahead, Cam.
Yeah, I think they were the biggest movement on the field. They did their part. I'm gonna give them. I want to give them an A, but we ain't had no sacks. But they did their job, man. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna give them a big plus. A minus. I give them A minus. They deserve that.
I'm gonna give them an A. Like you said, they didn't score a touchdown. Yeah, the sacks wasn't there, but the QB pressures and stuff was there. So
yeah,
definitely. Like I said, without them saying we don't win this game, that's how bad we played offensively. So definitely gotta get them an A. Man, D-line did good. All right, outside linebackers, the edge
rushers. D. I mean, we didn't get any sacks like that. I see. This is my thing about the defensive, the front. Like, I just feel like the better we are up front, the better we can be in the back. When you can get more done up front, and sometimes I just feel like it'd be a lot of empty things happening on the field defensively. Even though, like I said, we won because of them. I'm not going to sit up here and give them high grades just because of that. Because when you start how you're breaking it down is making me think back, like, what happened. But so that's why, like, I mean, they did okay. C plus. See, I'm trying to be nice because, like I said, if it wasn't for them, I'm serious. Like, I'm trying to be nice. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have won. But I'm not going to sit up here and give them high praise either.
Okay. All right, Bishop, your grade for the edge rushers.
Well, I'm glad AJ is not up here because I want to say y'all
Lord.
Adafe, Adafe Owe finally came alive. He finally came alive, and he didn't get number 2 sacks, but it was better than anything else. So I give him a C plus.
Okay. Yeah, and to your credit, Bishop, he would have spent all the rest of the show talking about that. Go ahead, Cam.
I'm gonna give him. I think I'm gonna give him a B because I mean, I know we didn't get a lot of sacks or what have you, and really, I don't think Denver threw the ball that much. Now that I think about it, I mean, they threw it enough, but the run they played solid against the run, especially JPP. JPP had a lot of. I think he had 2 tackles for loss, and I think and Bowser did some good things, him in Houston. So I'm gonna give him that. I'm gonna give him a B.
I said B as well. Like I said, sacks wasn't there, but they did stop the run. They did get constant pressure. We
Yeah.
gotta finish more. Like you got your hands on the quarterback, you got to get him on the ground. 'Cause that can lead to second chance touchdowns and stuff like that. So it's like if you drop an interception, next play they score. That's an opportunity we could have had.
Mm-hmm.
Make a play. So definitely we got to get better at that. But all given the circumstances, being on the field a lot because our offense was so doo doo, I give him a B. All right, inside linebackers. Go ahead, Shannon.
Inside, I'll say B plus because I mean, like I said, like you guys have said over and over again, we were able to stop the run or limit the run with Denver. So I'll give them that.
Okay. Go ahead, Bishop. Inside linebackers.
Yeah, go ahead, give him my A, man. Roquan and Patrick Queen before the injury is balling. Josh Ross is, should be coming up soon. So I give him an A. Them boys is rolling, holding the middle of the field down.
Go ahead, Cam.
I'm gonna agree with Bishop on that. They was handling the business. Roquan actually had the highest. I think he had one of the highest grades on PFF. I know
Yeah,
everybody rock with it, but what he had career high 11 tackles and two or three tackles for loss. So I'm gonna give him that. I'll give him that.
I gotta give him an A plus, man. That was the best part of the defense.
Yeah.
Roquan, tackling machine. You put him right beside Patrick Queen. Hope he gets back. Malik Harrison held the fort down. So I give him an A plus, man. Like I said, signing him was big, man. I was like, that guy had 20 tackles because
That's who I think might get the money this offseason, honestly.
oh yeah, they didn't give up a
They're gonna
second.
pay him. They're gonna pay him.
He's gonna
Yeah.
be here, whether they franchise him or sign. He ain't going nowhere. So
Yeah.
that's the cost. I don't give up them picks for nothing. But
Yeah.
I give him an A plus. Secondary DBs. Go ahead, Shannon.
I'll give them a B. Off the strength of nobody scored they didn't score a touchdown. Nobody got in the end zone. So yeah, I'll give them that. I can't wait. I'll give them a B. That's we'll do that. B.
Go ahead, Bishop. Secondary. How they play?
well, I gotta go ahead and give him an A, man. They cut Brandon Steven minutes down. So anybody on that train, I give him an A. I give him an A. Doing good, doing good.
Okay, go ahead, Cam.
C plus. I'm grading hard. And I'm gonna tell you why.
Okay, go ahead.
We look good. I noticed something. I don't know if y'all noticed it, but when every time Kyle Hamilton go out, that secondary they look nervous, and really, I'm not talking about even the corners because I'm giving Marcus Peters gets a pass with me because coming up ACL, it's going to take some time for him to feel like he's himself. You know what I'm saying? But Chuck been in the system. You got the green dot. He looked like the weakest link on that Sunday game, and it's not the first time he looked like the weakest link. He looked like if it's man to man, he's decent as far as cover. But when you got to play, you roaming as a safety, and you free up, and he just looked like he got his eyes caught in the back, and I'm like, let the front seven handle their business. That's the reason why the tight end got busy. I'm not even that last one. I'm gonna kind of blame it on Geno Stone, but that's really Chuck. He ran right past Chuck.
Mm-hmm.
That's the same thing that happened in the Buffalo game with Knox. When and Peters was telling him, this is what's about to happen. He told him, and Chuck was like stuck in the sand. Knox ran right past him. And then it looked like it's bad on Peters when it's not. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta give him a C plus, bro. I think he did right now. I think he looked like the weakest link in that secondary.
I give him an A, given the circumstances. I'm being a little generous because when your offense put you in the field that many times, plays are going to be given up. I don't know how. I don't care how good you are. So that's just what it is. They ain't even have time to go drink a sip of Gatorade. They had to come back on the field. But like you said, Chuck Clark. I've been said it once. They drafted Cal Hamilton for a reason. So that right
Mm,
there, he's not gonna be here for the future. He doesn't watch film. For him to be so smart, how don't you
yeah.
see a corner coming and you just sit there, like you said, sucking? He did it against the Browns too when David Ojabo caught the corner out. It's like, and I'm
Yep.
my y'all I'm at the game, so I'm sitting right there looking like he just do not watch film. You gotta watch film. For this as a safety, you have to watch film. That's all. That is why you think Ed Reed was so great. Not to say nobody. That's a high standard for anybody, but for you to be best at your position, you have to watch film. Chuck do not watch no film, and it shows.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I give him an A though because they did hold it down and give him no touchdowns. All right, special teams. Go ahead, Shan.
Um,
What's wrong,
uh,
Shane?
I give him a C too. Like C. I'm gonna just leave it like C. C. I'll leave it like that. C.
Go ahead, Bishop. What you give JT and company? What grade you get him?
I love Tuck, man. He my Hall of Famer, man, but he got to tighten up, man. Amanda must have hurt him, man, because when you fall short on 67 yards after you crank it like that, he's the GOAT, man, but it's just a bad look, man, that he fell short. I'd rather for him to missed it than to fall short. That was last game, so I'm still
I was about
boiling
to
from
say
last
what?
week.
What did I miss that?
Yeah, I'm still boiling. I'm still boiling. Jay know how I do. I just got to be honest. I'm still boiling for next week. He fell like 5 yards short, bro. That's ridiculous, man. And
What?
he made a couple field goals this week, but he said grade him on this week, man. I give him an F.
Go ahead, Cam.
Somebody great on the curve. I'm trying. I'm trying to. First of all, before I go on, Jess, hold on. Let me say something real quick. Bishop, I don't know what you smoking. We're
No,
gonna
I'm
put it
just kidding.
down
No,
for
yeah,
the
no, I'm
day.
just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Put it
I'm
down for
messing
the
with
day.
y'all. I'm messing with y'all. I just want to make sure I threw that out there because I knew I
Uh,
could mess with C and I mess with y'all, man.
all right,
Justin
all
Tucker made every free throw. I'm balling from the trauma, man. Of course,
right.
B plus.
I'm giving them A+ because that was the only part of the team that was like on. They was well, I ain't gonna give them an A+ because they kick returns. I'm gonna give them an A though because the kickoff team, Worley and Shamar Bridges, not Shamar Bridges. You got me saying Shamar Bridges.
Yeah,
Seymour,
yeah, you good, C. You good, baby. You good.
Wormley number 41 and Seymour number 25. They were covering punts, kicks. They were coming down there smacking jokers. So I'm gonna give them A. It was keeping it. They was keeping the energy there. And Jordan Stout, he earned his paycheck this week. So he was punting some good things. I don't know. Somebody grading on the curve between y'all two, especially that joker in Louisiana, boy. He's smoking some good stuff. Go ahead, Justin.
I agree with you, Cam. I give him an A because, like I said, he put the first points on the board before Huntley scored. Jordan Stout pinned the Broncos back. Kickoff coverage is good. Punt recovery is good. Like I said, don't kick your punt returns. You can't expect that every week. That takes a lot of execution and lucky breaks for you to run kicks and punts back. But overall, they did great, man. So definitely give them an A. Give them an A. All right. Let's give out good, bad, and ugly moments of the game. You can go ahead first, Sean.
Um, the good I'll say was the last offensive drive and the defense. The bad was the offensive play calling. I told you I'm stale. I'm over it. I don't care. We could fire Greg Roman tomorrow and I would be good. And the ugly is the injuries. Like we can't seem to shake them. Like I don't know what it is, but it seems like we just can't seem to shake the injuries.
Okay. Go ahead, Bishop.
On the good, man. Credit that defense, man. Credit that defense, man. Pay the defense. The defense held down. Even through adversity, they came right back off the field. That was good. I credit that defense. The bad, man. The bad is this. That offense, man, was very, 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 very stalemate, man, for the first couple of drives when Huntley got in there until the end. So that was a bad. We really, really got to be more serious, I would say, on our play calling, man. 2nd and 7th on reverses to the end zone. Got to be more serious, man. So that's very bad of Greg Roman. Even though I want him to stick it out, very bad of him. And the ugly is this situation that's getting ready to go on with Tyler Huntley's success versus Lamar's franchise tag.
Go ahead, Ken.
The good was the defense held up, and we got the win. That's really the good. The bad was the injuries, and the ugly was the offense. Period. Like, I don't know what's going on. Can't put my finger on it. I'm always start at the top, and it start, from coaching, and not just the OC, but everybody, receiver coach, offensive line, everybody coaching. Something got to just got to work, get back to the fundamentals of getting things right. That's about it.
I got echo off you, Cam. Good special teams and defense. Bad, definitely injuries. The ugly, offensive play calling. That all rolls into one. That was just right up. So I gotta agree with you on that.
Yeah.
All right, I'll close the remark. Go ahead, Shannon.
Just thank you for having me. I hope we can have a 5-game win streak. Like I told you, as a Ravens fan, that's all I want to do is win. So, I wish them all well. I really, really do. But I do want to win. So that's it. Thanks for having me.
No problem. Go ahead, Bishop.
I'd like to apologize for the 2 times that I missed, Justin. When I gave you my word, I told you, I promised you this time, so you knew I was coming. I'm sorry for calling you the wrong name, see, and using that and using that slur about Lamar Jackson that hurt you so bad, man. My closing remark is, man, get on the Tyler Huntley train and ride, baby, ride. Alert just came to my phone, Justin, that we did sign Deshaun Jackson to the 53-man roster. So Shamar Bridges and Andy Isabel are your next up for the 5th spot, being that Talon is on the injury reserve. And get ready to ride, baby, ride. And if you do ride, and we do go 5-0, I'm sure we have another podcast by that time.
We're gonna have that win or lose, but go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you waiting on me. I'm running a little late, but I'm gonna hold it down real quick. Bishop, I ain't worried about you. You just talking. Ain't never worried about what you saying. I'll be trying to figure it out as you go along. I don't know if you was giving me 1 fish, 2 fish, red fish, blue fish sometimes. So I'm good. I ain't worried about you, but I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate y'all. That's all. Love y'all.
Me, man, thank y'all as always. Take the time out y'all days to come chop it up with me, Cam, and AJ. Cam is officially part of the co-host team, so I just want to put that out there. Everybody, that's the 3rd man. But thank you, Shannon. Like I said, we'd love to have all of y'all back on here Thursday. Cam, I know you're gonna come on. You're part of the team. You ain't got no choice.
Putting the pressure on me, son. Put the pressure on me. Raven C, what up, son?
I would love for y'all to come back on Thursday, same time so we can recap the Steelers.
I'll let you know if I can. I can't. I'll let you know.
Well, I'm gonna enjoy the rest of my week and my competition friendly bet that I got with C. I'm just gonna enjoy my week and just keep my word and let him know that I know what I'm talking about. And he got a little bit more work to do, but he's my guy.
But yeah, okay, so Shannon, we'll talk about that, but we'll be here. When we Cam and AJ be here Thursday, 6 p.m. So y'all tune in. We're gonna do a recap of the Steelers game. We'll try to get one of the Steelers podcasts. People on here from Locked On Steelers. I'm gonna shoot them a message tonight. I've been talking to them, trying to get them on here, like how we did with Ross and the guy from the Giants, Andy. So I like to get other fans' perspectives.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody, have an amazing Tuesday, and always make sure you pray. Talk Ravens all day, every day. From your host Justin P, my co-host Cam Root, my special guest Bishop, Blockman President, and Miss Shannon Fitz. Y'all guys, Thursday, 6 p.m. Eastern, and we out.
We out.